cheap, 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 but these are very effective for all your screwing needs. Most of your screwing needs. Hey everybody, this is Sully with 5 freaking onion rings, and it is time to get serious. Time to get serious. Now that we're serious, I'm going to go over exactly how much I've spent in the last year flying FPV, since I'm at my 1-year anniversary of actually flying comfortably in FPV mode. And we're going to start off with purchases I've made and how much and the reasoning behind it. And hopefully my wife won't see this, so I won't hear too much about it in the end. But we all know she's going to see it, and we all know how this is going to play out. So, worst video idea ever coming right up. My first purchase. This is the Wizard. A lot of my dearest, closest YouTube friends have started with this. This was actually recommended by Stu over at UAV Futures and was a phenomenal purchase last year in 2016. Drone of the year 2016? No doubt. It came with the FlySky controller, which I'm glad to use this one. It's actually a really good controller. Not the Turnigy or the whatever it's called. Furski, yeah, that one. Not that one, but it came with the FlySky and its own receiver and pretty much everything you need to fly, including a 3S battery and a battery charger that was literally, let's say, a piece of crap. It was bad. It was a bad battery charger. This thing gets hot. So anyway, serious hat off. Start off, Wizard, battery, controller, simple stuff. And I flew the Wizard for a little bit of time and realized that, holy crap, my lens on the Wizard was a complete piece of junk. 2.8 lens. So your field of view was if you were wearing blinders like this. And for someone new to FPV, that's not what you want to be. So my first purchase actually was a camera with a little bit of a wider lens. What I didn't know at the time was it was still a piece of crap because it was a Cmos Camera. Everyone said go with the HS1177. That's what it was called. But I did not. I found something similar, but didn't realize it got a Cmos. And my actual problem wasn't the camera, but the lens. So I bought a couple of lenses. Now this camera, this is actually the Eachine's original camera. And this camera that's in it is a generic Cmos that I paid $20 for. And the lens, I bought a couple of spare lenses that were wider, 2.1 and 2.3 lenses that were the tiny ones. Now these were $3 and $4 each, but they were not that good. And when people say go ahead and buy the GoPro lens, buy the GoPro lens. So one camera, about $20-ish, about $20. And two replacement lenses, let's say at $4 each. Fast forward a little bit, and I thought 3S sucks. So I bought some 4S batteries. Well, let's see, better 4S batteries. And then I bought more 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 4S batteries. And of these, the 60C rated 1800 milliamp hour Zops were actually my favorite, and at the time they were the cheapest, kicking in at about $15 a piece. I got a couple on sale for $12, so I'm currently rocking 2 of those, plus the original one from way back when. This one started out, this is my original battery. This is funny. My original battery started out whenever I bought the Eachine. One of Stu's recommendations was a 4S battery that was 1500 milliamp hour. It was a Zop as well, and they said for a little bit more you could get this, but that was $22, and at the time I was counting beans, so I got this one. Now this, you might notice, has been repaired several times, and that's because my very first flight, this bad boy was hovering, and my idiot self said, oh, let me catch it. And let me put my finger right here where the props can hit it. And I have now regrown my thumbnail, and I still have a little tingling sensation where the prop hit my finger, my ring finger. And that was a lot of fun, let me tell you. Do not grab these out of the air. But I did that. My very first maiden flight. And I was done. Don't grab these out of the air. Especially not the 5-inch. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, let's say 9 batteries. These were actually my biggest expense because they were between $9 and $14 a piece. One thing I did was search around for sales, and I found Zop 1500 40C 3S batteries for $8 from GearBest, and I thought, ooh, I can fly 3S, that's fine, totally fine. 3S 1500 with a 40C rating sucks, and my very first flight with one of those batteries dropped out of the sky because it lasted 2 minutes of piddling around, and it took me an hour and a half to find the drone because it fell out of the sky, rolled down the hill, and landed on the north side of a tree in the moss, and took a while to walk around and find it. Not a big deal. I took those 3S batteries apart because I had 4 of them, and I made 4 3S batteries, and I actually have a video of that, making those 4S batteries. And honestly, these are still rocking strong. I can fly about 4 minutes, carefully 4 minutes, or I can burn it out in about 2 minutes. But they actually do pretty well. They do come down warm, but they're now about 9 months old, and they're still rocking pretty well. They charge the 4.2 volts, and they do exactly what I need them to do, which is get me in the air. Makes me happy. Now, fast forward, and when you have 9 batteries, you need a charger. And my dumbass self bought a clone charger without knowing it, because I thought, ooh, I need a LiPro balance charger. And my idiot self bought a clone, did not realize it was a clone. Once I realized it was a clone, I bought, well, actually this was at the same time, I bought a voltimeter. What do you call this thing? Digital multimeter. Wait, actually, before I bought the batteries, I bought one of these. This was $5 from Harbor Freight, but it has been calibrated and tested, and it's pretty much spot on. So I do love this. You can't really live without it. I use this instead of a LiPo checker. I'm looking at LiPo. LiPo checker, I use this instead whenever I bring the batteries down, just to check it. So let's just add in $5 for this. Let's say $8 if you buy a much nicer one. This is a generic bare bones that works very well. Yeah, brings us to this being it was $22. It is a clone of the IMAX B6, and I didn't know it was a clone. And it took me a while to figure out it was a clone, mostly from lack of stickers and YouTube videos on how to determine if it was a clone. But anyway, $23 still works. You just have to be careful, and if you're not careful charging your LiPos, you don't need to be in this business anyway. So you don't need to be doing this at all if you're not careful with your LiPos anyway. Here I am throwing them around, but anyway, I'm right here. If that goes off, it's going out the window. Got to be careful with them. So it still works. I set a timer and a smoke alarm right beside it, and it's never out of my sight, and that's how I charge. Once I get it charged, I will go through and check each one again with the multimeter. So, multimeter charge. It did not come with a parallel port, so this was another $9 purchase from Amazon. Could have gotten one less expensive, but this one works very well. So all in all, it's about $35 total, and still working, works pretty well. So, charger, batteries, drone, quadcopter, receiver, and cameras. That's what we're down to now. It becomes cold or wet, and I bought an Eachine E11, an E10, and a Furibee F36. So Furibee F36, Eachine E11, Eachine E10, all of those I got for about $12 each. I'm going to be super duper whiz bang pilot, and I want to put my videos on YouTube. And I bought an Eken H9 camera. $33 on sale, GearBest, Eken H9. And I'm showing you the board from it because I went up and went straight down because my ESC exploded, the original Eachine ESC exploded. And this is all that was salvaged out of that camera was the board. But I did get a lens, yay. The Eken H9 lens is a GoPro-sized wide lens, which is phenomenal. I cannot tell you how much I love this lens. It's the same size as the GoPro, it's just a wide view. Much bigger glass on it, and it works out very well. So, Kaboom, crash, bang, bloom. I'm out of commission. I'm flying my tiny whoops, the Eachine E11, E10, whatever. Flying it around. Oh, forgot to mention. When I bought the Eachine, I bought an all-in-one camera. It's a 200 milliwatt all-in-one camera, and I actually like this thing. I don't like the cloverleaf, but my cloverleaf has survived. So, anyway, I bought that and bought a couple of spare batteries. The camera being $19 and spare batteries were $15 for 5. Not too bad of a deal, $15 for 5. And I was flying that around. Kaboom! Put on YouTube or on Facebook that I had wrecked, and one of my motors was wrecked, and one of my arms was cracked, and the VTX was gone, and what else? No, not the VTX, I'm sorry, the ESC was gone, and I needed some replacement parts, but I didn't really want to wait 3 weeks. So someone from Facebook kindly sent me replacement motors, and that worked great for about 10 flights, about 10 days, so about 30 or 40 flights, 30 or 40 packs. And then one day I decided to power loop a tree and ended up in the water upside down. Bye-bye motor, bye-bye ESC. Fast forward to that, and I bought what's currently in here, which is the 35 amp Racerstar, and I paid $22 for that thing. That was awesome. 4 2306, 2700 kV Racerstars. Love these. They are awesome as well. 4 of these for $27 due to a sale again. And a new arm was $3. Pagoda antennas. These I got 2. Well, yeah, I got 2 for $5. And then I liked them so much I bought 2 more just in case these wreck, which I'm still on the original. In case these wreck, I bought 2 for $4 and then 2 more for $5. And then I bought a diversity triple patch, not diversity, but triple patch for $5 as well from eBay. I don't know if I'm using this one correctly yet, but that's all. So we're going to charge in that. Antennas, about $5, yada yada yada, 555. Bunch of antennas. These last a long time. I'm kind of surprised. I just used hot glue as support and they work very well. Fast forward a little bit. While I was replacing these pieces, I also bought a new transmitter that's on the inside. I'm sorry, I bought a new receiver on the inside. The IA6 SB, yeah, IA6. So it'd be a little bit lighter and smaller. I did not realize that the larger one that comes with the Eachine actually can be decased to be the same size, but I bought this one and that was a whopping $11, I think. Yeah, $11. I'll double check, but it was 11. If it's not, it's going to be printed on the screen down here. But that was $11, and I bought a bunch of straps that were $2 for 10. And put it back together, and I actually love this configuration, which seems weird, but it works great. I also did self soft mounting using this little foam pad and some nylon 25 millimeter screws. These were $1 for 25 of them. They're very cheap. And a little bit of rubber O-rings that ended up soft mounting. The foam that I used to soft mount the motors is actually the packing that Banggood uses for their packing. That's Banggood packing. And you can actually just go straight through it. It works as well as 3M tape for the most part. It's just not as easy to swap out motors. In that time, let's see, I did buy a couple of spare counterclockwise locked nuts. That was $3 for 20 of them. eBay, yeah. So, also shrink tubing, which is amazing. This stuff helps out a lot and is used for protecting. Big thing of shrink tubing was $4. You can get it from Harbor Freight or from Banggood. Sound. We're back. Coffee break. Black, because I don't drink milkshakes that are caffeinated. Black coffee. Freaking awesome. Don't be one of those, blah, I drink Starbucks. Anyway, that's the next video. So, Fast forward, got all my repairs done and realized, well, at the start of repairs, I think every FPV pilot should have a soldering iron and solder. This is 6040 lead free from Chicago Electric, so that must be, it is that place, what's it called? Oh yeah, Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight, this is a Banggood, cheapest thing you can buy on Banggood, cheapest soldering iron you can buy on Banggood, and it should honestly be illegal because this is a piece of crap, but for an extra $1 you can buy yourself a copper rod, grind it down, make a tip, and make this work very, very well. This is 60 watt with the copper rod modification. I have a video on it and people hated that video. It's my most downvoted, and right now it's about even at 50-50 for likes versus dislikes, and someone will probably take their like off, and that's okay. And it's funny. It's 60 watts, it heats up like crazy, you put the copper rod in, and it's phenomenal for $6. You can buy a TS100, which I recommend. It has a lot of features and blah blah blah. For what I do and for the crap that I do it with, this is honestly, it's all I need. I'm not a pro. I know I'm not a pro. I'm not going to get pro results. I'm barely going to get passable results. Sometimes I don't even get passable results, but I get results. And for me, $6. I'm okay with it. You could spend $20 and get a much better one. That's fine. Solder makes more of a difference. I have Flux downstairs. Oh, by the way, $3.50. Sometimes you can find it on sale. When you do buy it, this stuff never gets cheaper. I don't know why. Flux will change your life. Flux is exactly what you need all the time you need it. Flux is awesome. I don't have it, but Paste Flux is $3, maybe $4. It makes even crap workable. Works great. I also bought a scale, digital scale. This was $7 for a 1,000 kg, so 2.2 pounds, 1,000 grams, not kg, 1,000 gram, very sensitive scale. Smoke stopper, 12 volt light, bunch of XT60 connectors. XT60s I recommend you buy from eBay because you can get about 20 of them for $5. If you buy them with the leads, it gets really expensive. And what I found is just buy the silicone wire. That's about $1, $2. It can get pricey though, the wire, 16 gauge or 18 gauge. Wire XT60s though, $5.99 for about 20. I'm still working on them, and when I see them on sale, quite honestly, I just click buy, and 2 or 3 weeks later they're there. Also, cheap, but these are very effective for all your screwing needs, most of your screwing needs. Make sure you find one that has a 1.5 or a 1.5, 2, and 3 mil hex head, and that's because that's what most of our stuff uses. But I use these all the time anyway. This was $5 at Lowe's. And we're moving on. That's a lot of stuff so far. I don't know what the running total is, but I can look at my bill and I'll get you an exact total at the end. Moving on. This is the Leader 120, and if this had been out whenever I first saw FPV, which was actually Stu with UAV, when he was doing it, he was doing 5-inch racers, showing all these flights and just fast and speed, and oh my god, it was so much fun. If this had been out, this would have been the drone I would have bought and flown and bought batteries for, and just phenomenal. This is a great starter drone. I paid $90 for this with without any discounts, actually like $89 or something. And then I got like credit card, anyway, $90 for this. Came with a 550 battery. This battery actually, I've heard sucks, but I get almost 5 to 6 minutes of flight out of this, and this is amazing. I had to buy one $5 receiver for it, and broke the antenna off, so I had to buy another, and it was on sale for $4. So all in all, these little tiny receivers work great, especially on the micros. They work phenomenally. They work great. They're great. Great. These work so well. Get good range with them. I've never had a fail-safe with this, and it was $4 to $5 depending on the day that you pick it. From China, of course. So moving on, but all in all, $90. This has been phenomenal. That does lead me to one thing I forgot. I bought JJ Pro Kylan goggles. Kylan JJ Pro, just different name. I actually like these. They're slightly heavy and they have a small ridge that will ride on your nose. But the screen is big, the screen is bright. They last about an hour on a charge, hour and a half on one 2000 milliamp hour charge. And from that, I added, these were $79 that I bought as part of the Wizard pack. It's not really a package. I think I just basically bought Stu's under $300 put together thing. But with that, I got the Eachine DVR. I love this thing. If I had known, well, at the time this was the only one I knew about, and it was $18. Wired it into the video out video on YouTube. I actually have a video on how to do that. I bought several antennas for it, like I say. Honestly, the pagodas work very well on this. This little thing works better than the circular polarized it had, and it was $3. I have, like I say, the patch antenna. I just don't think I have the directions set right yet, and maybe without diversity these aren't as good, but that's in an upcoming video too. Let's see, along with that, so I have flight, I have stuff to fly with. At some point I thought, it's getting colder and I like flying very quickly on the ground, just off the ground, so I'm going to build myself one. And I did, and this actually was a lot harder than it should have been, partly because, I don't know why actually. Oh, I do know why. The frame is an X112. If I were to redo this, and I'm going to use a 140 millimeter frame or 130, because these props are so close together. When you do rapid turns and whatnot, since it's an underslung, they're close together, you get a lot of prop wash and it is hard to tune out. I bought 1407 motors. These were $32 for 4, so $8 a piece. 1407 Racerstars. The frame was $12 from Amazon, X112. Like I say, I would not do the 112. I thought it would be faster and lighter, and it does come in very, very light, but for what it is, I wish I'd gone a little bit bigger, and like I say, I'm going to rebuild this one. I got a 28 amp 4-in-1 ESC. That was $24. Has that micro receiver again, the same $5 one, same version. This is a VTX03 switchable 0, 25, 50, and 200 milliamp or milliwatts VTX. It works very well, except the LCD popped off. But for $10 for that, not too bad. The camera I've replaced, I had the HD DVR Cyclops 3, and it didn't handle light very well, and I switched over to a security camera that was $7 off Amazon that handles light phenomenally well. I can fly this at night, no problems, seeing anyway, by one street light, I'm fine. This camera is very, very good. For all the trouble I went through, I would have just stuck with more batteries for the Leader 120. This one does fly 2S, 3S, and 4S, and is phenomenal all the way around, except that, like I say, prop wash, it's harder to tune, it has an underslung battery, so it's actually my first underslung, and I wasn't prepped for how much different it would feel. Anything I build from now on is going to have a battery on top. And yeah, brings us to probably the one thing I buy the most of by far, and that, propellers, props. I keep my eyes open for what is on sale a lot of times because I'm an okay pilot. I can fly around, have fun. If I'm just going along, skimming on the ground, doing flips every now and then, going as fast as I can, flipping up over a tree, doing an S-turn, that is realistically all I need. And sometimes that just takes a prop. That doesn't take like, ooh, you know, I need the lightest, the best, the greatest, yada, yada, yada. I just need a prop that will get me in the air. And so far, these were on sale, and I bought them because they were $4 for 10, or 10 pairs, and these are terrible. And they're probably terrible because you have to pid tune specifically for them, or they flatten out, but you can't go full throttle with these by any stretch of the imagination. These are the Racerstar 5041's fishbones, and they work great. I've also had bi-blades, work great. Tri-blades work great. The only ones that didn't work very well were the 5052, and that's because I had a 20 amp, the original ESC that came on the Wizard, and I think the 5052s are what contributed to my ESC exploding. So all in all, miscellaneous purchases, wire strippers, these I love. They just pull off the tip. These are what I call wire circumcisers. They just snip the tip. It makes it very easy if you're just trying to get the tiny bit of the rubber off the end and you want to solder on a tiny, tiny bit. These were $4. Love them. Absolutely love them. That actually, wow, that really does. I haven't spent as much as I thought. That really does wrap up my how much have I spent. And there will be a me from the future popping in a few minutes to give you a grand total. But overall, you know, it's so sad. I started off whenever I saw the DJI Phantom 4 doing 4K video from above and blah, blah, blah. And that was $1,200. And I don't think I'm even close. I think I'm actually under about $600 for 3 total drones. And a year of, honestly, just a lot of fun. If I were to redo some of the purchases, I would probably focus more on batteries. And I would focus on batteries and batteries and batteries. Honestly, these things, they're just great. More batteries. Yeah, because you can't fly without batteries. Transmitter works, quad, batteries, headset. This, like I say, I didn't pay, you know, I don't have the $200 or $250 Amways or Fat Sharks or whatnot. These work very well for me. I like them, and I can see them. And it's a big bright screen. It's great. Thank you so much. I appreciate it all. We'll get a total up, and me from the future will pop in with the total amount.
This is Sully from the future. The bean counter Sully. The total price is and 92 cents. So once again, that price is and 92 cents. Okay? Thank you so much for watching. We'll go back into our regularly videoed editing thingamajogger. But I just wanted to reiterate, it's not as expensive as it seems, but it was a total of a whopping 92 cents.
And hopefully my wife will never see this video. Please, please. Will never see this video. And if she does, I hope that she doesn't try selling stuff for what I said it would. No, I'm just kidding. I really gave you the right prices. She's gonna... If you don't see me anymore and you wonder where my videos went, you'll know my wife saw it. Thank you again. If you like this, like and subscribe down below. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. It's been a wonderful year. I've met and talked to a lot of wonderful people. My channel, you know, I'm at 300 subscribers. Yay. I know that's small for a lot of you, a lot. But for me, I'm happy. And I want to thank you so much. Thank you. Hope y'all have a good one. Take care.